these different groups, people think they're kind of different. They're all the same. They're synonymous. Morris is in there, of course. Great Transition 2002, and here they show a broken planet. Not broken because of pollution. It's broken somehow because of overpopulation and global warming. And they show that they're going to fix it, right? So they create an imaginary problem that they're going to be needed to fix. Okay, then. Next we have, 93 to present. This is important. Global leaders, young global leaders of the World Economic Forum. In 93, Bill Gates was one of the first into the camp, the indoctrination camp. How many do you think they got through since 93? Any guesses? How many of our leaders, and these guys always end up in senior positions, how many? 4,000 since 1993. So I think you'll begin to realize now how everything went crazy in 2020. And how did everyone go crazy together? Well, it's the 50-year preparation. And interestingly, these young global leaders in 2005, the World Economic Forum put together a big bash. And they brought them all in. And it was the 2020 initiative. Because WF told them all, in 2020, we're probably going to have a lot of problems with misinformation and, conflict and maybe pandemics. Who knows? Who knows? And they got them to brainstorm and do up all what they would do, and they informed them what they should do. So it's interesting, when 2020 came and all these leaders are in position, and suddenly there's a big pandemic, they go, hey, we went through this 15 years ago. What do we say we do? Oh, yeah, misinformation, lockdown. See, it's like Pavlov's dogs. They actually know, this thing's going down like we talked about. So great psychology, clever boys and girls. Global Risks Report, very interesting, 2006, RAND Corporation, Military Industrial Complex, working with the WEF. So they're looking at the risks in the future, around 2020, give or take. What do they highlight? Well, the big risk apparently. 2006, the big worry for the world for zero reason whatsoever would be pandemics, right? You couldn't make it up, but they did. And they also said that the biggest problem would probably be misinformation. This is back in 2006, right? And they said, that the ordinary people, the little ants, might start talking, and pointing out facts. They didn't say that. But they might start talking, and that will increase the spread of fear. But you see what they did just there? They absolutely knew that ordinary people talking would decrease the fear and collapse the scam. So they said the opposite, and they said, we'll have to stop the spread of fear by censoring. And that's 2006. We'll skip this one for time. Global Brains Trust. So essentially, way back they identified, as I mentioned, climate disruption, pandemics, macro-terrorism, end of oil. That was peak oil. That one seems to, they've dropped that one. Financial collapse. They knew that was an opportunity. So when the GFC came, big collapse, they jumped in fast and they set up a Global Brains Trust. 1,500 experts, 70 global councils. And basically they said that, well, now, obviously, after this crash, you need a global government. So they're always opportunistic. But when you hear the experts, right, these are the kind of experts that you're listening to, They're owned experts in the main. This boy was involved back then. He was kind of trying to play along because he knew it was a very powerful axis in the West, what I'm describing. But eventually they kicked him out of bed, obviously. They just kept pushing with NATO on his borders, and now he genuinely, I don't think he's organized opposition, I think he's genuinely kicked out and cozying up to China. So, Kissinger in the New York Times, yet again we see what we're not allowed to say. The chance for a new world order. I mean, freaking hell, Kissinger uses the phrase New World Order in the New York Times, and they say it's a conspiracy.